Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. Welcome to August, year 81 on the farm. We are ready to get us some potatoes. So again, as you can see, the field didn't get to be rolled. I don't know how much or if that affected the yield bonus, because again, I did roll my canola field and I was at like 98%, so I'm right there. So let me get everything going, unfold this, turn on the harvester, and we're going to get going. This is a bit of a process. Obviously I did all that talking and it continued to do all of that. Alright. So let us see what is happening. Is it doing stuff? Is it not ready to harvest? Or do I just have to get further on? There we go. So the part that digs the potatoes out of the ground was not on the field yet. So premature panic. It's a special state of mine where I'm always concerned, partially because honestly Farming Simulator, well, any simulator can be so unpredictable until you do it the first time, and this is the first time I've been using the potato harvester in FS22. So there's in theory a screen that the potatoes, I was like, are they falling into the bin in slow motion? But they're basically on some screen that then deposits them. So remember, this has a 22,000 liter capacity. What I don't know is what the real working width is. Is it 6 meters? Is it 3 meters? And in the end, I guess it honestly doesn't matter. Because it's going to take however many passes this field takes. So let's see. Oh, it didn't. Can I not? I have GPS on this thing. I don't understand. So I'm wondering if I didn't get a working with because... Okay, there we go. So now I have one. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on cruise and try to, go get my dots, because those are important. To heck with if I miss some potatoes in the process. But I don't think I did. I think I had my line set well. And then we'll figure it out at some point. So I think we're going to be at 10,000 before we hit the edge of the field. So if we had one of those other... Now again, as I'm getting ready to say this, I realize the statement is wrong, but I'm going to say if we had one of those other harvesters that we pulled behind, this one pass would fill it. But it's not fully true because it only does 1.8 meters, so I'd probably have to go through the field 2 or 3 times to do that. But so yeah, I'm gonna start from, you know what, I'm gonna keep doing this because honestly the thing I just realized, I need to be able to maneuver a truck by the root crop cellar. So what I'm trying to figure out is what's the best and cleanest method of going ahead and getting the space clear. So yeah, the challenge I've got is it doesn't look any different topped and well, I can't say that for certain, I guess, until I look. No, it doesn't. Because my thing was, like, I don't know that I would know. In 19 it was more obvious if I topped the potatoes but then didn't harvest them. Like somehow I swung around and the planter missed it. I could see it a lot cleaner. But I'm not actually seeing anything that's obvious here with that. So, yeah, what I was trying to figure out is, do I want to start on this side or the other side? But because this is kind of in the center, because initially I'm like, I'll just start on the long side because I need to do that to get to the harvester, or to the harvester. I'm looking at a harvester, my brain's thinking harvester. I don't know why I said harvester. To the silo. But then I realized I'm not going to that silo inside the forest in my yard, my main yard. I'm doing it here. Alright, I think that was, well, there shouldn't have been a 75% beep, so I don't know, maybe I'm hearing things. I thought it was beeping. But, so yeah, in any event, given how long this field is north-south, I wouldn't be surprised if one pass fills it up. So, you know, we've got room in the grass to maneuver, and certainly we can kind of drive down there. Now I've, you know, expanded this. There's that tree back there that obviously would cause a truck to have to do some things. Because I'm somewhat feeling like I want to start at the other end, where I can then just kind of move over, and obviously I'll feel a little sense of accomplishment because the rows will just be ticking away compared to here, where it's going to take me like 10 minutes to do one row. I don't know that that's true, but I don't know that it's much of an exaggeration either. Alright, so we are literally... It's interesting. Oh, I see. I'm way off the field. How is it still harvesting? But I think it might have been like what was in the hopper. Alright, so now I need to unfold this lovely pipe. Alright, that is there. And now we're going to go get ourselves our truck. And our crampy trailer. Where is that? What did I do with it? Alright, I'm losing my mind. Did I like sell it by accident? I did sell a trailer, but I can't imagine I sold that trailer. No, it's here somewhere. Because the trailer I sold was the tanker, and obviously I got another tanker. Alright. Well, we can do show on map. Whoops. I gotta make sure I do not want to sell. Where is it? I'm losing my mind. Alright, let me go find my trailer and I'll be back. Alright, here it is. I backed it into the woods. I vaguely remember this, but then I don't. So... Oh, that's right. It's got lime in it. Alright, I gotta get set up to get the lime out and make the trailer useful. So I'll do all that off camera so you don't have to watch me. Alright, so amazingly it really wasn't that hard, I think, to at least get the auger over there. If it ends up being a massive challenge to get this in there, I'll cut some things out as well, I guess. But at this point, I'm hoping to just kind of do my normal pull in here by the trailer. I think I should be able to do it. Obviously, I was doing it in the winter before where it was a heck of a lot more obvious. Now I've got all these branches, but I'm imagining none of them are sitting down upon me, but it certainly makes the visibility more difficult, I'll tell you that. I think I actually want to go pretty straight here. Alright, let's see. There we go. We can finally see the bucket a bit. Might even want to go, whoop, no, this way. So, we'll see. There we go, lime. Dump it. Get that 9,000 liters of lime into our silo. What happened? Don't tell me it's full. There is no way. There is no way that thing is full. You're gonna be kidding me. Oh my god, it is. Wow. This is bad. Oh, wow. Because I don't need... Alright, because, yeah, at this point I need to leave this. Let me turn this off. I need to leave this here. I'm having, like, just a really stupid idea, but I'm just going to have to go throw lime down on the ground. Like 2,500 liters of lime, which isn't going to take that long. Alright, so you know how people say, you know, you can be your own worst enemy? Hi, let me introduce you to public enemy number 1 for me. So, I got a little bit too much lime into the spreader. I got like 4,000 instead of 2,500. I kind of decided, like, I'm just not going to play this game because I would have to, like, empty it. So I spread the 4,000 on the field. I'm picking up the fertilizer. I'm then going to go ahead and grab the, or dump the rest of the lime so that I have an empty truck so that I can get potatoes. Alright, empty. Awesome. I tell you how excited I was. Well, now we're going to get to see how the field looks, because now I'm facing this way, and as far as getting to the root cellar, because I need to go and get by my harvester, but that's on the other side. So I'm going to actually cut through the trees a bit here, back away to a little higher view, so A, you can see a little bit more, and B, you're not overwhelmed by the truck noise. It's nice to have it in the background and, like, know that there's an engine running, I guess, but probably irritating to have it yelling in your ear. So yeah, it was kind of funny because I'm thinking of that more because I watched, I found a real trucker that was doing American Truck Simulator a little bit and kind of giving his opinions, and he, like, couldn't adjust the music, and at one point he was like, this game just makes you deaf, and like he tried a couple and he found it eventually, but it was just kind of funny. So I've tried to be careful that sound wasn't overwhelming, that it was kind of there, and I think, you know, I've had my level set. Nobody's made any complaints. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I mean, in theory, this trailer will hold 59,000 liters of potatoes. Good news is it obviously holds one harvester worth. Well, hold on, because now I need to first off move this. Since this field isn't active, I'm going to use it as a parking spot. But if I'm going to start, actually I'm going back the other way. I don't know. Just ignore me. I certainly do. Because yeah, I'm going to try to start on the other end, remember. But yeah, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to fill it, because I think, again, the kind of ratio of loading. I think that trailer's basically like 0.46 or something. What? Why am I... Oh my god. I'm just ruining potatoes. I'm hoping I'm just going over the topper since they're buried and I didn't really ruin them. But what happened? I don't understand. Is it on? Turn off, pipe out, lift, fold. Alright, now it should be harvesting. So again, now I'm in slight panic mode. Alright, what is happening and why are there not... Okay, now there are. So yes, I guess I lost those potatoes that I drove over. Alright, this is just torturing me now because I don't know if I'm doing things wrong, but I think I'm okay now. Because yeah, when the harvester fills, if you recall, like on a regular harvester, it basically also lifts out of the field. And then you just start driving through crop. And this is the same, it's just my hope was, well, they're potatoes, they're buried in the ground, so when I run over them, it shouldn't much matter. Like I'm killing the tops here, but I'm just grinding those up anyway, so... Which I think is what I'm trying to figure out, because it looks like... Oh no, that's just the... There's an optical illusion, so through by the pipe, again, I can't put an arrow on the screen and point here, because I can't get a mouse pointer. And I know I'm not going to take the time to, like, put an arrow on my video. It's... I don't know that it's an important enough point, but basically where the pipe is, like, you can see the ground through a tiny little peephole there. And I was thinking, because it looks green on top, you know, in the center section, and I think it is. I mean, it's clearly green versus, I don't know, it's yellow maybe. But, so I was like, oh, the halum's going there, and then it's like getting shredded and dumped, but no, I'm just seeing the tops through the peephole there. Like I said, just stupid me, but yeah, the harvester picks up, and so I may have lost several hundred liters at least of potatoes. I don't know that it really got up to 1,000, because obviously I have to kind of get almost all the way across the field here to get even near 10,000. I mean, I'm not getting quite as much as I was the other way, because I think I'm not quite covering the field the same way, but like you can see, obviously there's stuff hanging out of the harvester. Alright, so we are now seeing, like, now my back wheels are running over those tops, but am I destroying the potatoes? I hope not. See, because it's still like putting potatoes in, so this is a bit goofy. So I'm probably going to need to stop this thing before I'm 100% full, because otherwise I think I'm going to... Alright, so if I do that and lift that, it doesn't actually allow me to speed up. I have to actually turn the harvester off. Alright, so what I'm going to do is now I'm trying to get my rows so that I... you know, I'm going this way, because that's the way I want to harvest. And I hope you're all okay with that, because if not, I'm doing it anyway. Alright, so now I do need to remember to turn on the harvester again, which I have done, I believe. God, I'm so paranoid now. It's on. It's lowered, and it's unfolded, because all the buttons that let me do those things. So there should be a slight potato uppage there. Really? None? There were no potatoes there in the corner? Oh, there they are, finally. Man, it takes a long time to process them through the little field. I don't know. It's not through the little field. I know what I'm thinking. I can't put words to it right now. This thing is so interestingly... Like I said, this is just a sinister machine. It's like Mad Max meets farming. I just need to mount some machine guns on it and, you know, shoot me some potatoes. I mean, there are like potato guns, but I understand they don't do what machine guns do. But so, yeah, I mean, at this point, there we go. There come the potatoes finally. It like takes them like a long time to get through everything. I don't know. This is more difficult than I thought it would be here. I guess that's also why it's probably a good idea to... Yeah, I may also have to do a lot more headlands on the other end of the field as I look at this, because how am I going to maneuver this gigundous thing? That is my favorite word, if you haven't figured out. It has become my Misty Hills Farming Simulator word of the series. I don't know. Hopefully not. I'm sure most of you are saying, because you probably don't want to hear it over and over and over again. But yeah. Why are my wheels slipping? Like, this makes no sense. I don't know, it's possible. Obviously, I don't have the mini-map up, so I'm not seeing... I'm going to need to, like, pay attention to the track numbers, because, frankly, it's visually hard to tell if I'm lined up. Is this really where I need to be? Did I, like, somehow get all that off when I see... So I wasn't even clear when I turned over there. God, that is spooky. Alright, so I'm on 97. Again, at some point, there will be potatoes showing up in the hopper. There they go. So maybe I didn't run over any potatoes. It just took 10 years for them to get through the receiving line in the harvester. But yeah, I mean, this is just very interestingly challenging, and I'm gonna, like, stall this thing out because I'm in the water or something. I don't know. But again, it's gonna, like, do that, but then not do that. I mean, it's taking off the tops, which doesn't hurt, and then my wheels aren't, in theory, running over that. So, like, now I've got enough field that I'm actually getting potatoes before I'm off the field. But see, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, this doesn't seem to help at all. Some of it is I just need to remember I'm just going to go 6 miles an hour no matter what I do. So that is the tightest turn I can make with this thing. No, I need to be in 95. I swore I came out of 95 when I was looking at it. I just don't understand. Did I miss some? If I did, I don't know. No, so maybe there is a little bit, like, it looks like I'm topped in that ridge area there. Like, that is topped, but then it's not harvested because the furrows for the potatoes are still there. Alright, this also seems like we're, like, not getting... Now we're finally getting a bunch, but it was like... We're, like, not getting a lot of potatoes either. I don't understand. Alright, so, yeah, not a very simple process this is. I kind of knew that would be the case. But this is even exceeding my wildest expectations of crazy level of effort. I assume it's like the old farm simulator. It's going to give me some kind of a warning about your Don't drive too deep in the water. The Farming Simulator used to do that. Like, it's not just gonna die on me, I hope. But, yeah, I'll probably take a look at the map at some point and just make sure. Because, see, you can see the furrows, like, way at the top of the row that I swung into. Like, they're still there. Like, where the potatoes would be buried in. And so, I think that's kind of how it all works. Alright. I'm going to regret this at some point, but I'm turning this off, so, like the harvester off, so I can turn faster. Because this is frankly excruciating to turn the other way, given how far out I need to go. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to run like 4 or 5 more headland passes, which is insane. But, so, I think I'll get past the point of the field that touches the river here. So I'll do these couple things, but then I think I will go run, I don't know, 30 headland. I don't know how many I need. But this thing is obviously huge, and for turning, I need space. There's not really much I can say or do other than that, so... Alright, it does, because I've turned it off, it's still getting potatoes. So yeah, I'm going to stop at like 21,000 next time. This is not even close to where I need to be. I need to run headlands like right here, so let me just do this. I'm just torturing myself because I don't want to run into the river, which obviously I shouldn't. I mean, it's a $600,000 piece of equipment. But, alright. But the problem is, like, the thing I don't like about this is I can't tell what I've done because I can't really use the GPS here. I'm just worried I'm, like, wasting crop. I mean, you know, at some point, like here, I might be okay, but there's not really a reason to stop. So, at this point, I mean, I'll run this pass. I don't really need a headland the other places. I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out, because I want to do this as little as possible, but yet... Alright, so at this point, I am absolutely going to change. The bad thing is I think I need to go up here because I think I have one that like some rows that... Alright, I think that will work. Yeah, it's leaving those, but yeah, it's probably literally one row that needs to be dealt with here, so it is harvesting a little bit. And again, it'll keep going for a while, because that's how this thing operates. And then I'll need to turn. Alright, so is it really done with potatoes now, or is it just faking me out? Making me think it's done. See, but now I probably have to go like way, way out here before I truly have the next row. And once again, I didn't look, although it'll probably be 0. So, no, it's like -2. So I think I need to be in -3 to make this work. We'll turn around this way, and then we'll see if I can get to -3. I think I can, but no, I don't think I can. I think I at least have to go back here, if not further. This all makes sense in my head. If I'm confusing all of you, I really apologize. But yes, I think... See, now I'm wondering if -3 is even what I need, but... Alright. Whoops. Definitely not on going that fast, so... Let me start doing this. Oh yes, so I need to do -2, probably even -1. I'm probably, honestly, multiple rows over. So let me stop the damage because I know what's going to happen. I'm pretty full. I'm going to end up... I'm going to end up in the crop when I'm full. The question is this good? I think maybe it is. Alright, I'm going to back this up. Alright, this might be okay. If not, I'll move over again. But, you know, I want to at least be at the point where I can just kind of back up when I need to. Wow, yeah, this is still not it. So I probably was at 0. This is just scary. Why is this? It's like locked on the GPS again. I love when it does that. There we go. You know what? At this point, I'm going to pull far enough out, and I'm going to empty myself, because first off, I'm going to go way out there. I'm going to not create more work for myself, so I'm going to go up here into the field of lime, and I'm going to just make sure the truck can get, because the truck's going to hit the potatoes. It's just, I'm just asking for trouble. Oh my lord. Well, I gotta remind myself the Suez Canal is worth it. But I swear I've probably already spent almost an hour here, and this is what I've got to show for it. Like, this is going to be insanely time-consuming. But, you know, some of it is just trying to work out the foibles of the equipment, but I'm assuming I'm not even going to be able to empty this harvester, because what I was explaining is this trailer, I think, does 0.46. Potatoes are 0.75 in weight. So basically that's the way I make them equal to determine like what something will take of you know, of something. So for the, kind of the cost, so there you go, 36,000. So I can't even get this full. Why is it reversed? I swear I didn't hit the button, but I must have. Alright, so we can get 36,000 of potatoes into the trailer. So basically a harvester and truly about a harvester and a half, because 22,000, so it's a little more than that, because we're getting 22,000 plus then we're getting like 14,000 of the next one. So it's kind of like between what I have left and the next thing, I'll not really be full, but I don't know that it's worth you know, doing the other piece. So I think it's gonna make more sense to pull around this way, because otherwise I think I'm gonna have to get into the trees more to actually dump, where here I'm like the back end of my trailer's already pulling out. Because if let me pull up my F1 menu, because if I change my tip side, see, I don't know where the grain door is. Let me see, is that up front? That's something I'm not familiar. Oh, come on, really? It's too sharp of a turn? Am I stuck on a tree? I don't understand what's happening. Terrific. I was not expecting this to be that big of a challenge. I mean, I'm like, it's relatively flat ground. But yes, I'm literally spinning my wheels. Alright, and I want to go forward. Alright. Good news is it moved right away. Thank goodness. But yeah, it's like the turns are a challenge with this. I have to figure it out though, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it again. But it's like, you know, if I can be moved... Okay, now I am stuck on the tree. You've got to be kidding me. Like, really? This is gonna be my lot in life? So what I was starting to say is I need to basically keep moving, and that should give me a better chance, but I had like slowed down because I was like, well, I don't know where the grain door is, da-da-da. Alright, well, I'm assuming if the grain door is the front. So literally I stopped, and now it's like struggling to pull this thing. Alright, well, I'm gonna go like this way. Okay, well, the grain door... So the grain door must be like the little literal grain door. Like, let me see. Yes. Okay. So, alright, the sliding floor is what I was thinking of. So let me see. Does that just unload faster, or... Oh, I see, it pushes. Look at that. That's interesting. I don't know, like, how that's different. Oh, I see, because it's not actually lifting. It's just pushing. Alright, so that really doesn't change anything. Sliding floor backwards, sliding floor forward. Well, now it, like, won't let me set the back, because obviously I've done that before. All kinds of learning this morning. Certainly challenging, but, yeah. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves some more potatoes. And I assume once I have potatoes, I'll be able to change to back. There you go. So I don't know why it won't let you do that the other way, but it didn't. Alright, so I'll get going. Heading back over to try to get some more potatoes harvested. This thing is just gigantic. Works well for this field, but wow. Alright, so if you've wanted to see what's involved in potatoes, I'm hoping you now have. And then you can decide for yourself if this is something you want to take on. You know, it is its own brand of torture, and you definitely need to have the mindset to do what you need to do to get this done, or it can be pretty overwhelming pretty quickly. And as I said, there's definitely incentive for me in that I know, you know, I'm helping this unique group project that we have in FSN to try to get this done. See, I'm not sure, like, that little bit, I don't know that it's really a furrow there, though. It kind of looks like there is. So it's like, did I miss a little bit of potato there? You know, those are the things that I'm unclear about, frankly. So, you know, and I think at this point, I'm done with the field, like once the front goes by, because I think it picks them up, like literally right up at the front. But so yeah, normally the turn on this is something like this, where it's very much like a 3-point. And yeah, see, I'm going to end up running across anyway because I think I need so many rows that I just can't, I can't do it any other way, so, alright. Just want to make sure I have this lined up. Alright, so what we're at and the reality we've got, this is just strange how it's doing that. Because see, it's almost like the wheels are taking out the tops. I don't know. Just hoping I'm getting, not like losing yield, but I don't know that I could do anything differently. I mean, I'm obviously now running GPS, I'm aligned, I'm going straight. Like, I think this is the best I can do. Alright, and at this point, it's just gonna unload some. So yeah, the situation for then the ultimate completion of the potatoes, meaning selling them, getting them to market, and so forth. So I have contacted a broker that I've used before in FSN, C5, and I'm going to be using him again. We've come to an agreement on $225 per 1,000 liters, which is fair, and you know, he can make a profit. I can, you know, feel like I'm getting something worthwhile for my crops. So the situation as I analyze things, it's about $130 a liter, $140 a liter in game. I can direct sell. When I looked, I think yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, for $194 a liter. And then if I were to sell on the resource exchange myself, that then turns into $231 is the average, which I would probably legitimately only sell for $225 to just kind of keep things moving. And I'd have to be waiting, you know, kind of 30 days, because like right now, the canola that I did so long ago, you know, most of it's gone. There's 649 liters left, you know, but it still takes some time. So, and he's willing to offer $225, and just, you know, basically it's gone at that point. And usually, like, once people move things, like, you know, I think he sells it on the resource exchange, but I don't need to then wait for that. Like, once he has the crops, he will, you know, pay me for them, and so I get my money faster, and I'm also, you know, getting all of it. Meaning, you know, I'm not waiting now 2 weeks later or 2.5 weeks later and still having 649 liters unsold, type of thing. So, you know, there's a bit of a benefit, certainly, in just handling it. Plus, you know, he can get it to the right people that need it for the Suez project, which is ultimately why I'm going through this exercise. So, at $225 a liter, the cost into this field in supplies was about $106,000, really $107,000. So but I did the math on 106. That means I need 471,000 liters of potatoes just to make up that cost, to break even. And after that, I'm finally making a profit. You know, and again, that's all relative, because I've got a $200,000 root cellar, I've got a $614,000 potato harvester, I've got a $125,000 potato planter. You know, those things aren't factored in there as well. But, you know, if we did that, it would, you know, we need millions and millions and millions of liters to break even. And ultimately, that's what obviously we're doing as a farmer. But, you know, from a yield, harvest to harvest thing, we kind of have to assume that the equipment is a necessary cost, and the goal is to just make sure that, you know, we know what the profit is that we're getting off of each harvest, because obviously that profit then just goes straight to, you know, paying everything and then refilling our coffers over time. So, you know, I've made, in the course of running Misty Hills, both obviously in Ohio and here, you know, I've made $13 million. So now, once again, I may be pretty close, as scary as that sounds, in equipment and land and all that. So it's like I may have finally broken even. But once you're like making profit each, you know, year to year, like now I've spent the money. It's not like these machines, I mean, other than repair and whatever, you know, I'm not rebuying them. So if I'm making money off the field, I'm making money, is basically kind of how I look at it, because it's ultimately the reality of it. You know, and I don't think, especially as we've seen at the rate we're going, you know, we're going to have 70, when we fill this truck, we're going to have 72,000 liters or so already of potatoes, and, you know, we're going to do that a little bit after this harvester load, so we're going to have to get into the next harvester. Again, I'm going to stop at 21,000, and then kind of let it do its thing and see what it ultimately ends at, because I would imagine I'm not going to get an additional 1,500 liters of potatoes in the machine, but you can see you know, I got 700. So ultimately, because of how this functions, you know, I'm going to go ahead and empty this and then come back, because just pushing it to the limit, you know, when I have to pull away, or even if I don't, obviously it creates a potential problem for being able to not run over crop and potentially lose it. So it's probably better to stop 600-700 liters from full and just go work with that. So we'll be able to empty this full harvester, because that truck only had 7,000 in it, so this will get us to like 29,000, and then we should be able to get about 7,000 out of the next harvester in as well. So I do keep folding the pipe, because right now we're maneuvering amongst the trees, and that is obviously an opportunity to get hung up. So, you know, here I think I might have enough that I think it's still going to be a little tight. But the problem is now I'm running in on the other end of the field with the challenge of now I'm running into the area where I can't be down any lower, so if that makes sense. Again, I know what I'm thinking, I know what I mean, but I may not be articulating it well, but I'm going to be into the part of the field that is, further out over there. And at this point, I think I will go ahead and obviously just keep moving along and cut into that, because, well, I guess, yeah, no, I probably should at this point, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to easily turn around. I definitely don't want to be trying to maneuver this thing in the middle of a field. I have to get off the end, and at this point, that means just kind of plowing ahead here through what I've got. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys a bit of a break while I kind of work through these headlands, and then when we start going north-south, I'll return. So at this point, I am changing over to the vertical or north-south direction. So I need to move this track over a bit. That should do it. I'm going to back up because this thing has a wide radius to kind of get itself set. And we're clearly almost full, so kind of figured out I can go to like 21,600 or 700. Or 21,500 to kind of get really close. So we're going to be stopping and emptying here pretty soon. So coming up. Alright, that's probably it. This is the first time I'm actually going to be able to pull the truck up to this thing in the field. So I've run basically 10 passes from where we had set ourselves in already on the headlands. So you can see that's what 10 passes does. And obviously it's wider at the other end. This is probably closer to 5 passes here. I've also found a better, I don't know, I only did it once, but I think I'm starting to get a good way to approach that silo. So, at this point we have dumped another truck in there, so we're over 100,000 liters as we start. Whoops, that didn't help. That's going to move the harvester a bit, but probably shouldn't matter much. But we'll go ahead and put that down there. Obviously we're going to be able to get that done. And then we'll empty this out and we'll continue. Thinking I should be able to get to the end of the field without being full. So I'll keep you with me that long, but you know, again, this is what we've got done. That's it. And that's given us about 100,000, so I'm thinking, maybe I'm optimistic, but I'm thinking we should be able to get 1,000,000 liters off this field at least, which is just crazy. But we'll see where we end up with everything. As I said, I'll stick with this until we kind of get to the end, although yeah, this isn't going to be a good gauge. So you know what, I'll run down, and when I have a full row, I'll bring you back so we can kind of I can give you the visual of what we actually get when we've got a full row. But because this is the tapered edge of the field, it may actually be a couple passes till I get to that point. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we're starting the first full row. And we'll see what it looks like going down one pass of the field. So in the interim, what you see to the right of me was 2 passes. So obviously the one that was quite thin didn't make it all the way to the end of the field, and the other one, which was partial, a good way up as well. And that got us to the point where we filled another truck and then some. So I think we've got almost 9,000 liters sitting in the truck already. We're approaching 150,000 liters in the root cellar. So definitely, you know, getting the high yield that we know potatoes provide. So my intent here, because I know this episode's already quite lengthy, as is everything with this farm, because there's just a lot to do here, will be to kind of then get the field done here. Probably have a little bit of a montage to give you some views of the harvest at various points, but nothing I'm expecting to come in and chat about until we get done, which may or may not even be today. Again, the speed this is going at, this is going to take some time, and I'm just not sure how much time that's going to be. You can see, you know, the harvester itself is already at an hour and a half of work. There's a lot going on here. I think 10 hours is going to be optimistic. I think it's going to be more than that. But we shall see, and we'll see what everything looks like. And then, you know, our next challenge will be getting things over to customs, because unless I come up with some other solution, and I don't know that there is one, I think we just use that same trailer to get it over there. And obviously we have that same limitation of 36,000 liters. The only difference is I don't need to wait for the harvester to pick them off the field to get the 36,000 liters. I just need to dump them in a truck and move them. But you know, we may be looking at 30, 50, I think 100 would be a lot, because that would, I think, mean we'd need 3.6 million liters of potatoes. I don't think we're going to get that much off the field, anywhere near that. But the only other thing I guess I might come back for, although I could just fill you in on what I see, because I don't know that I'm honestly going to be able to tell that much, is those stripes in the other field and the lower yield that we're going to be getting off of them, if I can truly see a difference. But 14 and 15 are up for auction. That is 15 that we drove into. So those are going to be plowed for the community for sale anyway in the near future, because you know that'll be on my list as well, since they are now up for auction and need to get cleaned up. So that will eliminate the stubble of my potatoes over there and get it all set for if and when someone picks that field up. So we're getting near the end of the row, and that is when I shall leave you. But yeah, we're not full at the end of the row, but I'm thinking we're going to be at 17,000 liters, so we're going to definitely be doing some, well, harvesting. We might be at 18,000 plus. We'll see. Because again, once we run off the end of the field, keep in mind there's probably 600 or 700 liters in the harvester that's going to get provided as well. So it's still picking up. There you go, almost 18,500. So we now have our answer. I will continue to do the work of getting the potatoes out, and we'll see you when we're done with some visuals in between, I think. getting pretty late here on Misty Brook. As you can see, I've made progress, but not been very successful in finishing, but I've not for lack of trying. So, as you can see in the chat, I got some help. So I had put out a contract probably 6-8 hours ago. So at this point, you can see the hours on the harvester. We're coming up on 10 hours here. So it's been a long harvest, which I figured it would be. And I was actually at the point where I was thinking about where I'm at. You know, probably I was almost ready to get off a couple later, but I was like, well, I'll finish up through here. And as I was hanging around, a gamer showed up and said, hey, I'm here to help. So now that I've got help, I'm going to stay on. I'm going to keep plowing along as much as I can, because it's just a lot easier. Like at this point, I'm just sitting in the harvester. He's doing the truck. So he just vanished off the screen before I had done anything. He's probably, I assume, just going to wait for me up at the top end because he kind of knows that's the situation. I'm going to have to go get fuel, it looks like, pretty soon, so I do have to keep an eye on that. Maybe I'll run up and down one more time. But in any event, just wanted to pop in briefly, give you an update of what's going on. He did ask when he got on how many potatoes I had, so I had not honestly been keeping track and checking. So we already have 1.2 million in the silo. We're probably at close to 1.3 million now because he's run 2 or 3 trucks over already from the time I checked that. So we're doing pretty well. There's a real possibility we could be knocking at $2 million, or $2 million, 2 million liters of potatoes here before this is all said and done. So, but that's the status. I was going to sign off and do something else because I've really had enough potatoes, but I can't pass up the opportunity to work with a contractor if I've got one out here. So yeah, you can see he's sitting up there. The truck's parked up at the north end. So we'll stay on until we get up there, but I'll kind of jump cut over to that. All right, so we're heading down the field here. We've been chatting about fueling up, so he said he's down to about a quarter in the truck. Oh boy, I'm hoping I can make it. I should be able to make it, but now I'm beginning to wonder. I think at the end I'm going to just run up, so I'll run and get some gas. But anyway, you've gotten a couple little snippets here and there of the run. Maybe I'll do a cleaner one on the way back. So yeah, I just didn't want to end up with another situation like I had with the tractor. This is a bit of a heavier piece of equipment to push. I was kind of joking. Whoa, shoot. I want to fold up the auger if I don't have to, because then I can't line things up. So as you can see, I put in some floodlights. So the one is right above me. You can see the base there, just past the harvester. And then I've got another floodlight, a smaller one, by the root crop. And I was thinking I might repair this, but I don't think I can fit with the auger. I don't know. I'm wondering if I can maybe back in, and if I get the back end into the square, although I think that'll bump the auger, which I guess doesn't really ultimately matter because there we go. So got the repair done. Maybe head on down here. I'll try to type less. Last time, you know, obviously I cut a lot because there's just a lot of typing and chatting, and you've seen enough of that in other videos that I've had, other episodes, so just trying to give you a little bit of co-op work. I think this is going to be my last pass that I can actually zip ahead here. Yep. Next time by, we are just running up and down the full length of the field again, so. But, yeah, this should hopefully help. I mean, I think definitely I'm probably easily going twice as fast as I would have been, because at this point, like, the harvester just doesn't have to stop. So I can just keep moving. I'm able to run all the way up the field, as you know, I showed at the start or earlier in the video, where it was whatever 18,000 liters in one pass. So if he runs with me down here, he's then emptying and then meeting me up at the top, and then we run back down. So that's been working. I mean, hopefully it's not terribly dull for him, but either way, I mean, he's getting paid the $5,000 an hour as a contractor, so however much time he logs here, you know, he'll get that cash. So, and I know certainly when I was a contractor, it was like, hey, if I've got to sit around and wait, and the guy that's paying me tells me, don't worry, cool your jets at the top of the field, and you know, again, it's not that I've told him that, but obviously you can't unload going the other way, and unless I'm going to run the harvester all the way up and just keep going this way, which is pointless, because it's not like I can get up to the top of the field that quickly, so I might as well harvest in both directions as I have been, and therefore he can only empty me every other row anyway, so. You know, this way he's still driving, although, because yeah, that truck doesn't have GPS on it, because I wasn't really expecting to need it. So, because normally I'm using the truck to drive on the road, or you know, go and drive to the harvester. I obviously can't follow it, but if at some point I do get a farmhand, which I did ask this guy if he was interested, but he didn't have enough time, so he's not. But if I ever do get a farmhand, you know, I'd certainly be happy to put GPS on the truck so that it can be used that way. But right now, there's not a need for it unless you got a crew. So, and this is the first time, especially up here. It's absolutely the first time up here in Canada that I've had a contractor. So I did run a contractor once in Seneca that I tried, but there was also not really, we never ended up on the server at the same time together, so same type of thing where if I didn't have GPS it really wouldn't have mattered. But in Heli Seneca there was more of a need for stuff, so like you were driving a lot of roads. I mean, I'm a lot closer to all the stuff here, so I don't need the GPS, but there were long stretches to get to the shop and other places, and obviously just even getting back to my silo because I had fields spread around the map a little bit. But not that case here, so I just decided, why spend $15,000 I don't need, that I may never use? But at least this way he's, you know, he can put it on cruise, but he still has to steer a little bit, so it gives him something to do as we're going the other way. But yeah, at this point, we'll hit that North Island and we'll start seeing some dirt between the island and the rest of the potato tops. So we're getting there. So let me show you the map. There you go, almost 1.4 million liters. So as you can see, we're getting close. I mean, I think we're certainly well past half. Looks like he's heading on over. So yeah, he kind of gets to read a magazine for a little bit or whatever while he waits for me to get back up there. But that's kind of the way it works with farming. So if I knew we'd be done, but then I don't know that he'd be able to keep up with me, because I could tell him run stuff to customs, but I'll certainly offer that to him later. I mean, we'll see how quick we go. I mean, I'm thinking even best case, this is still going to be probably half an hour on this long piece, if not an hour, just knowing that we've taken 10 hours to do what we've done. And I have not left this harvester running and just idling. Like it has been, you know, doing stuff. I mean, I've obviously left it when I've driven the truck, so there's a little bit there, but you know, when I did have to sign off during the day and such, you know, it's not like I left it sitting on the, you know, sitting and idling for 2 hours. So it's been 10 hours of work time that I've been on the server. So it's been a lot, and that's why, like, basically at this point was when I was like, yeah, all right, I'll stop, and then I'll do the rest of it tomorrow, because I was going to go and do something else, you know, play something else, because I just was like, all right, I've had enough of this. But like I said, I'm not going to turn down the opportunity to be able to work with somebody, because the efficiency is so awesome. Like I said, running this harvester non-stop is going to be a game changer versus, you know, I got to run the truck up. I mean, I easily lose 5 minutes every time I had to get in, and 5 minutes is probably a row, if not more than that. I haven't really timed it, but you know, if I can do that, and once again, I didn't figure out the math or whatever, but we got 1.4 million liters of potatoes, and that truck maxes out at 36,000 liters. You can see how many times that truck has had to run to the silo. And again, some of them, but that's, you know, even a good example. I mean, I was 1.2 million when he got on, and we're almost at 1.4 million, so we've done 200,000 when I had basically done 6 times that. In 10 hours, we've done 200,000, or 1/6 of that in the time he's been on, just because I'm able to keep moving. And that's with me going to get gas just now and whatever. So it's not like we've been, you know, that it's been even, you know, I've even had a little bit of waste, and it's still like incredibly more efficient. So like I said, I'll stay on and work, because if I can get this done today, then I'll just do what I was going to do today tomorrow, knowing that this is done. And then, you know, maybe I'll have to run the stuff to customs, but either way. So anyway, that gives you enough here. At this point, like I said, I mean, I'll pop back in either at the, you know, at the end of when I finish tonight. If we're not done, maybe I'll just say, hey, this is where we got. Because definitely, like, if he leaves, I'm going to leave too. I'm not going to keep going myself tonight, but he said he's got several hours to kill, so my thought is I may be ready to quit before he's ready to quit. But I probably got at least another hour and a half, but if I can do that, that would be awesome if we could get this thing finished, but not sure. So, talk to you in a bit. So it has turned into a long night. You can see we have crossed into September. Server's a few minutes behind actual time, so it is coming up on 12:30. So another thwarted idea of, oh yeah, I'll be done and in bed by 10:30 today. That obviously didn't happen. But the person who took the contract has stuck around, so I have decided to press through as well. So we kind of said, well, just get it done. So I definitely appreciate that. So they'll get paid for the time, and we're also able to do bonuses for stuff in FSN. So I'll be sending them a bonus as well, because this has saved me an insane amount of time. What we ended up determining at one point was I had gotten, I think I had mentioned before in the last segment, that we were at about 1.2 million when they got on, as far as what I had in the warehouse, and we ended up like over 1.8 million, and basically that was a little while ago. I think I had 12.5 hours, so you know, and basically I had 10 hours on the harvester when they joined, so I basically in 10 hours of work had been able myself to harvest 1.2 million liters, and in 2.5 hours with their assistance I was able to get 600,000, or half of that. So in a quarter of the time I was able to get half of the yield. So that is just crazy how much faster it goes when you're not having to switch from one piece of equipment to the other, run back and forth. Scary thing is I'm almost on my third empty tank of gas. I mean, I'm not in any danger of running out, but it is crazy. The other crazy thing is we are going to exceed 2 million liters off this field. Not by much. I think it'll be, you know, we're going to hit and exceed it in the same truckload, I believe, from what I had seen, because I think it's at 1,980,000, and I'd be surprised if they don't end up with 200 or 20,000 liters. So if we don't exceed it, it's going to be right up there. But this will be it. So yeah, at this point they're going to have like 3.5 hours. So I will obviously make sure that we send them some pay. So, yeah. So, I'm going to fold this up. I'm going to start. So, we'll see what we get. But hey, it's another 200 liters. And maybe this is a bit more. So you can see where we were. Or where we had harvested it gave us it gave us weeds on the field already, so kind of after we had harvested the canola too, it had 2,011,744. Not in my wildest dreams would I have ever expected that, but that's what we got. And yeah, no, I really appreciate the help, because they had told me they tend to play like an hour or two a day. That's kind of their normal time, and obviously they spent 3.7 hours with me, so well, I'm saying 3.7 because I'm looking at 0.7, but 3.5, whatever it is. They spent more than an hour and a half, or 2 hours even. So I'm going to go ahead and get the yard cleaned up, but that is the situation. So the next thing is obviously to get this over to the silo, and then get the, let the broker know. So I'm going to get everything cleaned up, put away, and get to bed because it's late. But that is the potatoes, and we've got way more than I would have expected. I will see you next time.